Hey everyone, Slightly Compulsive here, back for another video. I've decided to make a video showing how to take apart the Kizer HIC-CUP. I just recently dyed the scales on this guy to this sort of maroon color. I used the RIT dye and the color was called Wine. I think it came out pretty good. You can still see some of the coloring from before showing through, which is not, so great, but as the oils from my hand sort of get into this micarta, it should darken up and then kind of blend that in and you won't really notice it. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up again here on camera and show you guys just what the insides look like. Maybe you're interested in taking yours apart and you wanna see what it looks like before you decide to pull out your screwdriver. So I hope this video helps someone. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so I'm looking for a T6 for these body screws here. And I believe this one here is a T8. I'm not really sure. I'll have to double check when I get there. Let's go ahead and put this Torx bit on and start taking these off. All right, so once we have these body screws off, the only thing left to do is take off the pivot screw. As you can see, these scales are loose. So there's pretty much nothing holding this together except for this pivot screw. All right, so there's the pivot screw. And the other side will just come right out if you push on it with your tool. So this top scale can come off now. And underneath it, you'll notice that there's a spring. So you'll want to remove that as well. You don't want to lose it. And then we'll just set this down. There's this top liner. Careful not to lose this piece here. See, it might come off like this, or it may stay inside of the knife there. So be careful, you definitely don't want to lose this little piece. Put that by the spring. So here's the liner up close. They have taken out, several big holes out of this liner to help lighten up the frame there. But here you'll see the way that the button lock works. This is the button here. So when it swings open, it catches in this groove. It doesn't go to all the way to the end. It's going to catch right in there, and then this little piece here, I'm not sure if the camera will even focus on that. There we go. All right, so this little piece here is what goes inside this spot, and that's what stops the blade from, I guess, overextending. So I'm going to carefully remove this blade. I'm going to line it up in that notch, pull it straight up. Careful, because there are bearings inside of here. So here's the first set, and then the second set is still right over here on this other liner. So there's the other ball bearings, as well as the other half of this pivot. Oh, just dropped a barrel spacer. There's actually two of those. Careful you don't lose those either. Here's the other one. But again, here's the bearings and the other side of the pivot. So we'll go ahead and take this off. And here's those bearings. I'm gonna go ahead and put those off to the side. Here's the other half of the liner. And then the other scale where that button is, like metal sleeve, if you will, for the button. So you're gonna go ahead and push it out through this side and it'll come through. There it goes. Here's that little piece. So I'll take off the other washer, or the other set of ball bearings, I should say. So here's the button lock, and here's what the other side of that looks like. So I've got the blade fully removed, everything fully taken apart here. So we got both liners, both scales, all the body screws. There's 4 of those. 2 of these barrel spacers. You got your pivot pieces here. Your ball bearings, pocket clip, the spring, and this little metal post here. And this sort of button sleeve. And that is the Kizer HIC-CUP fully taken apart. Putting it together is really simple. It probably seems a little intimidating taking apart a button lock knife, and this is the first one I've ever taken apart. I didn't watch any videos, which just goes to show that it's not too difficult. If I can do it, you can do it. And so I just want you to be more confident. I mean, typically this is going to void your warranty. So if you're looking to maintain your warranty, I advise that you don't do this. But for me, I don't plan on putting in any warranty claims, and I prefer to just maintain the knife myself, especially on something that has ball bearings like this. I want to make sure I take it out, clean everything every now and then, and put it back together just to make sure that it's functioning at its top performance. So with all that taken apart, I'm going to go ahead and put it back together and show you guys how to do that step by step. First, I'm going to grab the liner that has this notch that the backside of the pivot screw is going to fit right into. I'm going to place this down, and I'm going to grab both of my barrel spacers and set them inside. Then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to put on the back scale here. From there, I'm going to put 2 body screws into this to secure these barrel spacers in place. Make sure to use Loctite when putting your screws back in. Now that I have these barrel spacers secured, I've also got this liner attached to the scale. This is going to make it easier to work on. So the next part of this is I'm going to grab the back side of this pivot, and I'm going to line it up with this notch and slide it through. From there, I'm going to put on 1 set of bearings. Then I'm going to put this little spring inside this hole here. Set the blade down in the open position on top of the pivot, and make sure to line up this piece with that spring. Go ahead and put on your other set of bearings. Then I'm going to put this little piece inside this space here. You want to make sure it's standing up. Then you want to put on your other liner. Don't forget to put this button sleeve back in the other side of the scale. Now we're going to place this scale on top and reattach the pivot screw. Almost done. We're going to put on these last two body screws. And then install the pocket clip. Tighten down all your screws. And the final step is just to make sure that your button lock is working. And there you have it. That's how you disassemble and reassemble a Kizer HIC-CUP. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you enjoy watching content like this, consider subscribing. Thanks.